if you want to protect a property from a tax increase, what can you do where you don't need an expert and you don't need a lawyer? Well, this is actually a really important issue. I've had some clients come in, they're worried about property taxes, and they have a longtime partner, right? And they're not married, but they live together. And maybe one's partner owns the house, the other just lives there, and they want the house to be there for their partner. Really important. And this actually isn't directly related to Prop 19, but get married. If you want your property available for your partner and you're not married and you're worried about massive property tax increases, if you get married, there is an exemption. There's no reassessment of properties when a property from one spouse to the other. So that's just kind of a fun side tip. Not really Prop 19 directly related, but one way to protect increases. Again, if you're in a long-time partnership and you're comfortable with this, there's a lot of other implications here. You need to be aware of this. There are reassessments when properties go from one unmarried owner to another. Let's talk about two ways that your kids can deal with property tax issues without involving expert help and just relying on themselves. So one, if it's your primary residence, your kids move in within a year and at least they get the $1 million in protection. So after you pass away or after it goes to your kids, as long as your kids make it their residence, if it was yours, then they get that $1 million in protection. And depending on the value of your house and your assessed value, it might be enough, right? If you have an assessed value of 500,000 and the house is worth 1.5 million or less, no increase because your kids would get that $500,000 assessed value plus $1 million in protection, no increase. And even if the house is worth a little bit more, like 1.7 in that case, there will be a small reassessment, about 200,000 in fair market value exposed to a reassessment. So for many people in California, to be clear, that $1 million is enough to protect the house from that $1 million in protection, is enough to prevent the house from being reassessed when it goes from parents to children, if the kids live there. Another solution is your kids just sell. When you inherit a property from a parent or from anybody, if it was in their estate when they pass away, it gets a stepped up cost basis. So in other words, if the property is sold in the future, you don't have to report what your parents paid for it 30 years ago. It's just you tell the IRS what it was worth, 1.8 million, 2 million on the day that my parents passed away. I'm selling it for 2 million. You don't have to pay any capital gains taxes. You get a stepped up basis. That's a crucial concept. So if your kids inherit the house and they don't want to pay higher property taxes if you didn't plan ahead, well, they can just sell it and they don't have to pay capital gains taxes if your plan was set up properly. This, by the way, is why the California Realtors Association spent over $35 million to pass Prop 19. Why? Because they knew that when parents pass away and properties go from parents to children, kids get the house and then they see these massive property tax increases. What are they going to do? Many of them, they're going to sell because once the property taxes go up, they never go back down. It's virtually impossible to bring them back down. You have to plan ahead. So the California Realtors Association logically said, well, how can we get more houses on the market and get more work for realtors? And by the way, look at how few the inventory of houses for sale right now is crazy low. And that's what Prop 19 is law. So without Prop 19, it'd be even lower. So it affords with people to sell. So you can always sell a house, pay minimal or no capital gains taxes, and there's no property tax increase because you sold. But even then, you have to pay a higher property tax rate before the house is sold. But most importantly, the way you can prevent this is to plan, to take action. There are ways to protect from property tax increases. Contact us at gilfix.com if you want to explore this in more detail with us. We can very efficiently go through the issue with you and for you and identify the different types of solutions that we have. So thank you so much. I hope you're having a great day. As my mom likes to say, I hope everybody's staying safe, sane, and healthy. Thank you so much. I'm Mark Gilfix. Hope everybody's good.